Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a video on the 1994 Toyota Camry Wagon. I'm going to be basically showing you all the issues it has, stuff that I haven't really shown you, or, well, stuff that I've already shown, but didn't really go into detail with. And we'll stop and we're going to do it from the top down, because, well, I guess that makes sense. But, first one is the roof. And as you can see, that's rust. And this thing is riddled with rust. Not exactly sure why, but what I do know is that this, specifically this rust spot, is getting quite bad. And it gets, I mean, it's not much better down there. Right there is a particularly bad spot if I'm even on it. I believe I'm on it right there. And there's another spot down there as well. It's a little bit cold outside, so I am shivering a little bit. So that's not good. That will create, and you guys can see it's starting to pit and everything else. That's going to be causing water to get inside the interior pretty quick. And, you know, that is really not good. In order to correct this issue, you need to take the windshield out and shave or get this all down till about where the rust stops up here, which is almost at the racks here, at these inner racks. You need to take this all down to bare metal and then metal work it, make sure it's not going to rust, primer, you know, and paint it. And that is worth more, that job is worth more than this car alone. So that was one of the major reasons I was like, okay, this car is definitely going to die. Second is rust. As much as, you know, I was saying, oh, this car's not that rusty, as you guys can see, this has all been repaired. I mean, that's all repair, I believe, right there. Which I'm pretty darn sure that. I mean, this is all like foam-like substance. I have it on the ground here, like that. It's like a foam substance, almost. It's bendy, cracks easily, because it's old. There's also some more of that there. And in the trunk, as much as I have it stuffed right now, I'm going to try to show you. Actually, it would be better if I showed you underneath. Yeah. That's pretty rotted. That's the floor in the trunk pan. And my muffler is also quite rotted on that side. So there is a chance, if I sat here and idle long enough, that exhaust fumes would go up in there, even though carbon monoxide sinks, but it can still get in there. And if enough got in there, I'm kicking the bucket, to say the least. So that's definitely not good. Those floors, I was actually planning on repairing those floors until the major issue that I'm going to talk about last. This has all been repaired, obviously. I mean, that's been repaired. And so, same thing here with that rubber stuff right there. More repair work down there, repair work. I think he even did it here. Maybe this is actually, I think this is actually a factory thing here. Rockers are in good shape, at least, except over here. Rockers are kind of messed up there, obviously. Let's see. So, back to the other side. I know I have to go all over the place with this thing. These wiper arms are a little bit loose. Not a huge deal, that's fixable. Easily fixable, I should say. The driver's side axle, which I don't know if I've ever shown you guys, is completely, the boot is completely ripped, and he wrapped it in like, I can't remember what it's called right now, saran wrap, I think. There's a cover underneath, so you guys can't really, yeah, you can. That's the CV boot. I believe that right there, no, sorry, that's not the CV boot. In there, you can't even really see it right now. That thing is wrapped with saran wrap and a whole bunch of different crap. I might be able to see under hood here. Probably not. Of course, the hood shocks are, nope, the hood shocks are not going to work, of course. Why would they? I'm talking crap about the car and now it doesn't want to behave. And the other major issue is the transmission output bearing has gone out. So, in order to fix that, one, I would need to either drop the subframe and hope that I can do it that way, or I need to take the transmission out of the car, and I don't even know if you can take the transmission out separately from the motor, and fix it that way. And guys, this Toyota Camry has 275,000 miles. It has a ton of blow-by from the motor, and that is pretty much, and when I bought this car, I might even said in the video, I'm gonna wait for something to give me a big enough issue to where this thing would turn into a demolition derby car. And the more I've thought about it, the more that gives me the reason to derby this thing. It still moves, it still goes in reverse and drive just fine. Transmission actually is perfect. It's the bearing, because when I think my prediction is when he put in those CV axles, when he put them in, there's a small seal on the transmission. It's actually like a separate differential, and it has a bearing in there, and in front of that bearing is a little it's a seal, and those seals are known for going bad on these. And what happened is, I bet he took the axle out, and when he did, he probably ruined the seal, or putting it back in ended up ruining the seal. And I didn't know that, so I was driving it, and all of a sudden it started making a growling, very loud growling noise. And eventually I jacked up the car, about to do a wheel bearing, and I played with this driver's side axle, and it had more than an inch of movement like that. That's how sloppy that bearing is on both sides. Both sides. This side's a little bit better, but this side is especially bad. And to me, it's like, why would I? This car has had a long life. It's 275,000 miles and 10 of them in New York. So, you know, it's had a long life, and I was hoping to get it to 300,000 miles, and I would have if that transmission hadn't given me an issue. And you know, I'm sure there's more problems I'm missing. I know there's more problems I'm missing, but all those are relatively easily fixable. The biggest issue is the transmission and the rust in the back, and the roof. Actually, the roof and the transmission are pretty much the biggest problems. So that has pretty much, and I just released a poll on YouTube a few days ago now, and overwhelmingly people said to derby this thing. So for the 2022 demolition derby season, we will be seeing the 1994 Toyota Camry Wagon being demolition derbied. So it's unfortunate to me. I loved this car. I absolutely loved this car. But it's giving me a big enough issue to make me derby it. And I don't think financially it makes sense to try to fix this thing. I mean, you got to think between the transmission, the roof, the rust. I mean, with a 275,000 mile motor and transmission, is it worth it? The answer is no. Not this Toyota. Especially with how rough the body is, and the frame isn't perfect. It's not, you know, it's obviously not that bad, but it's definitely not perfect. The gas tank is about ready to fall out. So, you know, it is what it is, really. As much as it sucks, I think that's the conclusion I've came to, and without people even knowing that, that's the conclusion that they came to, at least in the majority. The minority, this video is pretty basically for you guys, the minority, and I was in the minority for a long time because I didn't want to derby this wagon. I wanted to drive this wagon. These things are awesome. Gets good gas mileage, a ton of space in the interior, just a really, really good vehicle. And it's better to be seen in this, in my opinion, than a minivan. And I just loved this damn wagon. I really did. I still do love this thing, and someday I hope to get another to drive on the road with a 4-cylinder in it. I'd love to drive another one of these. Hopefully with a little bit lower mileage, but, you know, Toyotas last forever, so I'm sure that motor would go another 275,000 miles, even with the insane blow-by it has. I mean, when I loosen the oil cap, it actually blows it off. So that's actually how much blow-by this thing has. So, yep. So this ugly duckling is going to meet the Demolition Derby world in 2022. And on top of that, it is not going to go into a more built class. I'm going to run it in a Demolition Derby where there is not a lot of Toyota Camrys. Well, crossing my fingers, there isn't a lot of Toyota Camrys. Because in my opinion, this is my opinion, don't know about anybody else's, seeing 20... Because some people are asking me to run this in Meltdown, and I perfectly understand that. I would like to run in Meltdown, to be honest. But this Toyota Camry versus 20 different Toyota Camrys, to me that's boring. Where's the variety? You know, there might be 1 or 2 Hondas, and there might be a W-body or 2, but overwhelmingly majority is going to be Camrys, or Camry-type cars like Avalon, Solera. Where's the variety in that? That's what I say. You know, to me, I really don't watch Meltdown much. I really don't. And the reason for that is because I just find it somewhat boring, because I just see the same car over and over again. You know, and they're all built similarly, basically. And it's just like, what's the fun in that? To me, that's all me. Honestly, I still think Meltdown is a great show. It's well put together. You know, there's nothing wrong with Meltdown other than, to me, it almost being solely Toyota Camrys. That's my opinion. It's okay if you have a different one. I understand. But, anyhow, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I know it's gotten more into a rant than anything, but this thing will be getting Demolition Derby. It's probably going to go to a spinning wheels show. And probably in the bone stock, Demolition Derby. So, as much as you guys may be hurt by that, I don't think this Toyota Camry is quite that clean to be put into a, you know, more. And honestly, to me, financially, it's not worth it, and it's not feasible to put this thing in a more welded type derby. But we'll see if that changes. I don't know. Alrighty, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.